My name is Christopher Jameson. I live alone and I love it. There's never any surprises. Nobody gets in without my permission. There's no sudden mess. And most importantly, nobody touches what's in my fridge. It had been a long day. My long, large nose was runny with snot since I woke up. My brown eyes itched, and even more when I touched them. I kept finding strands of my brown hair on the table. Something thumped in my ears and it drove me nuts. My boss gave me a loud ear lashing for a mistake I didn't make, and I kept clicking the wrong buttons as I coded. But it was finally over, and all I wanted to do was grab a cold beer and sink into my comfy couch. It was about 6 p.m., but the moon was already out in the middle of the sky, and the darkness cloaked over the streets, chased away only by the street lights that had started shining too early. I had only seen the yellow-lit windows and the occasional car driving past. No people on the streets. The entrance to the apartment intimidated me the first month I lived here. It was a large door of thick glass, rimmed by steel. The handle was a bar of metal that stuck out with grips to make it easier to pull. To the side of the door on the wall, there's numerous metal plates and metallic numbers, and a large scanner for keycards. Breaking in through brute force was near impossible. Thump. The sudden noise makes me jump. I jerk my head upwards to the right to see black feathers slowly wafting through the air, and a crow flying away. It had flown into the window. Odd. I reached for the keycard, inside my black tidy jacket I bought 9 years ago. It's in a pocket within my jacket that's in an odd spot, but I find it instantly, plucking it out. I sweep it over the scanner. Beep. I pull open the heavy door and step inside. The lights give off a slight droning hum. The door shuts closed behind me. The lights start flickering. I've lived here for 9 years and I've never seen them flicker. I ponder if I've let in a ghost. I chuckle at that silly thought. My room is 6 stairs up. A right turn, about a 15-second walk, a left, roughly 7 meters down the red carpet, and there's a door with the metallic numbers 317 screwed into it. I stick the key into the lock and try to turn it, but it won't budge. Mindlessly, I attempt to turn it a few more times before looking down to see my key only halfway into the lock. My brain can't comprehend it. I take out the key and stare at it vacantly, like a man seeing life for the first time. Then I push it back into the keyhole. It only goes halfway. It only goes halfway? I heard something behind the door. I listened closely, pressing my ear up against the thick wood. There was a faint tapping, like a few giant spiders sneaking on the walls. I heard something more, a faint voice muttering something I can't quite decipher. Yeth. It's true, I swear. This, multiple times. Really fun. Don't worry. Hello? I shouted. There was silence. And then I heard glass shattering. My fist banged against the door. Get the hell out of my home, you creeps! I snapped out the phone and I was just about to call the cops when I felt somebody tapping against my shoulder. My head jerked to the right. My jaw dropped. Standing there was a creature of 4 meters length, head bent down to not hit up against the roof. It stared at me with a strange smile, the type you have when you accidentally meet your neighbors in pajamas. Its long, sharp, slender hands with 3 rotten black fingers, about 7 inches each, carrying long, sharp nails, slowly rose towards me. I felt my heart speed up. The hand lightly pushed my chest, and I took a few steps backwards. It slowly drifted to the door handle and turned it, and the door opened wide. It got down on all fours and crawled through, shutting the door. After a few seconds, I fell out of shock, and I rattled the handle, but the door wouldn't budge. Suddenly, screams came from the inside. The padding against the floor turned into thumps. I heard wood snap and glass shatter over and over again. The door shook and shivered, something being thrown into it. I jumped back, pushing myself up against the wall. What the hell? I scanned the corridor and I realized that I was completely alone. I heard screams coming from inside the apartment, like chimpanzees in a fight. Then it stopped. Just like that. Drop dead silent. The door slowly creaked open, and I could imagine the monster from before bashing the door open and rushing out with whatever else was inside. But that never happened. Eventually, I pushed myself off the wall, and I slowly creeped over. I swung the door open. There was nothing out of the ordinary. The white vases weren't broken. The short tables are whole and intact. The paintings on the wall hung as still as ever. There was no sign of anyone being in my home except for me. I walked through every room, checking behind and under the furniture. The windows were shut, as if nobody had opened them. What the hell happened? Eventually, I just couldn't bring myself to care. I was too exhausted and I needed my cold beer. I opened my fridge, and without looking, I instinctively reached for the spot where I always kept my beer. There was nothing there.